Okay, this is your Desmos homework. For those that were in class today, we went over a lot of this stuff. And even if you weren't in class, guess what? We're going to go over a lot of this. So this is where we did notes yesterday on this. And now this is your actual homework for Thursday night, August 20, is this the 5th? Cool. All it says for this one at all, it doesn't want you graphing at all. It just wants you to press to see the graph. Before we press to see the graph, let's look at our equation. Y equals 1 over 2x, 1/2 x minus 1. The slope of the line is 1/2. The y-intercept is -1. All right, let's press to see this graph. Interesting, okay. Cool. What did we start with? They put the y-intercept first at -1. -1 right there. Then what's the slope? Rise 1, run 2. Is that what we see? Y-intercept, rise 1, run 2. There's your second point. Draw your line. All right, there was nothing to do on this slide, so you're good. What about this one? Now it wants you to actually go ahead and graph what you see, okay? So if I'm going to do this here, I'm going to start where? At -4. Right here, I have a little bit of issues with my mouse. So -4 is my y-intercept right here, right there, -4. And that -4 is going to go right here. All right, -4. Then from there, what's our slope? Rising 2. I'm going to use a different color so it pops. Rise 2. So I'm starting rise 1, rise 2. I went up 2. All right, I rose 2. And then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. Okay? And there's my other point. And then let me get my straight line tool. Boom. And then I want you to do that. So I rose 2 and I ran 3. Okay? Now let's hit the button to check it. We're pretty close, right? We're pretty good. Not bad at all. That's nice. Don't worry if it's not exactly perfect. If you have the good idea of this, it's awesome. That's what I want to see. Okay? All right. Sketch the graph of the following equation. +3. All right. Where does that go? +3. Where do we go? +3. Why don't I start with this one? Have your notes out if you're struggling. We start with the y-intercept. We always start at the end of the equation. So +3. That's where we're going to start. All right. +3. And then we're going to go ahead and go -2. What's -2 as a slope? -2 over, don't forget it's a fraction, over 1. So we're going to go down 2 and run to the right 1. So down 2, 1, 2, and then to the right 1. Let's get our straight line. Perfect. And then I want you to check it. Y-intercept down 2, to the right 1. Let's see how close we are on our line. Ooh, we're real good on this one. All right, so we're good to go for the first 2. Let's keep it going. Now this is a little different. The next 5 slides are just like this. I'm not going to do every one of them, but I really want you to get an idea of what we're supposed to do. So -3, again, is our B. Don't forget, it's always this. We have this in our notes. Y equals, right, mx plus b, okay? The m is our slope. The b is our y-intercept. We should remember the b is going to be -3 in this equation, -3, okay? And where does it go on here? Right there. The y-intercept, oops, make sure it's perfect. All right, -3 on the y-axis. Remember, this is our y, okay? Then what are we going to do? We're going to rise 1 and run 4. Rise 1. Oh, we're having issues here. We're going to rise 1 and run 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. There's no button to check to see if you got it right. So you can just look at my work to see if you're good. And then eventually, let's get our straight line tool. Kind of something like that. It's not exactly perfect, but it's good enough. All right. Oh, I forgot to label this. I want to do to label the slope too. 1 over, I'm getting fancy with my straight line tool. 1 over 4. Okay. Why don't you try another one? Why don't you try this one on your own? And then I'll go over it. Why don't you push pause and go ahead and do it on your screen. If you have it right, hopefully you set this up properly. -3 is our y-intercept. Begin with the b. Where does it go? -3. Then what's my y-intercept? Up to over 5. And then let's do a straight line tool. Okay. -3 is our y-intercept. We went down 1, down 2, down 3. Then we're going to rise 2. This is our slope. We're going to rise. All right, 2. And then run 3. All right. Hopefully this has been helpful. Do this again. Remember, -5 over 1. All right, that shouldn't be too tough. This one, make sure, you see this negative on the side here? I want you to cross that out. The negative doesn't go to the side. It goes to the 2. The negative, so it should be, the slope should be -2 over 5. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down 2. All right, and then to the right 5. Okay? And you know where to start, the y-intercept up here. All right, that one should be too tough. Ooh, this one, what's the y-intercept of the graph? You shouldn't have any issues. I know there's no numbers. You got to find the points. You see where the points are? If you can't see the points, oops. All right, there's points there if you can see them. And then what's the slope of the graph? You can figure that out. And then I want you to write the whole equation. When you write the whole equation out, remember y equals something x minus, I'll give you a clue, something. Okay, there's your clue. So y equals, what's the slope? And then what's the y-intercept? It's a negative y-intercept, so I gave you some help there. And the last one, what is the y-intercept here? Should be pretty easy. This is what a lot of the graphs are going to look like, just the first quadrant kind of thing. Okay?